I just thought of a really funny story that I wanted to tell you about. And I think maybe what inspired it is I am going through a personal hard time right now. And um, I'm sometimes what happens in that space, especially when you feel powerless, is you look for something you can control. And in my case, that's often to pick on myself. That's a long tradition of mine. That's a practice. I've made so much progress around this, but it's always it's always a bit of a battle not to dip into that. It gives me like my brain something to do. It's really um, I'd say it's strange and unique, but it's not. It's so relatable, and in a way, I think it's so normal. So that's just my like little soapbox. So I'm in this painful time involving a loss, and I'm picking on myself a bit. And I'm picking on myself while I'm writing my book, and I'm almost to the end, and I'm like, "Whoa, I'm really picking apart things that felt already really good." Maybe you can relate to this. It's just like you raise your standard even more, or it's not enough in some way. And I don't believe that it has to be enough, or that I have to be enough, or any of that, because those things have already happened. Okay. I'm rambling a little. Let me tell you this story. It's about the this idea of a defender. My wife and I have this sort of strange enjoyment of cheesy touristy fun. We don't do it all the time, but something we've discovered is we love these things. Are called the dungeons, and there's one in Amsterdam. There's one in Germany. There's one in Scotland, and they're really fun. It's like staffed by kind of community actors, and they tell you the spooky stories of the history and lore of the country. They portray characters and do accents, and it's a little bit like a haunted house, but you're also learning the true and the mythical, legends type stories of the culture. We were in Amsterdam, and it was just so fascinating. You're learning about female serial killers, and um, ghosts and haunted locations and things. And there's like people like kind of they'll turn all the lights off, and then people will sneak up to you and scare you. So look, I'm already probably lost. Some of you are like, no, thank you, but it's really fun. And so we've done it in a few places and attended. And the first one we attended was in Edinburgh, Scotland. And I do like to point out, and this is in my book, I have a whole chapter about Scotland. They do not hold back on their dark history. They let you know. And it's kind of refreshing in a way, because, I mean, what country hasn't gotten up to some terrible stuff? And they're just like, here it is. We're not going to hide it. Um, And so, and they kind of play with it and characterize it and act it out and things like that. So you go into this room at the start of the tour. There's about 12 of us. And this woman is standing up on a podium, and she's the judge, and she's judging us as guilty and condemned to go on this tour. It's so cheesy. And she's really selling it. And she's got the cackle and the like thunderclap behind certain things she says. And she says, who among you dares to face my judgment? And then she points out this man, this like Scottish dude. He's got he's there with his son, and I think his wife too. And he goes up and sits in the trial seat, and she reads off his crimes, and they're these kind of funny, you ate frogs that you didn't know, or whatever. It's kind of silly, but she's really selling it. And um she finally says like, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. This is bad storytelling. She finally goes, "I find you guilty," and slams the book shut and hits her gavel. And right then, the boy's son, or excuse me, the man's son, who's like a little boy, and he's like not getting that this is a bit. A little Scottish boy, he yells out, "My dad's not guilty!" And it's like so innocent, and even the woman who's playing the judge is like kind of pauses for a beat, like, how do we let him know this is just a game? And then she's like, whatever, he is guilty, and I just think about that little kid, and it's so funny, right? My dad's not guilty, like completely sincere. And I also think about this idea of like, there are times when you're facing judgment, unfair judgment, and these are the moments when you need someone to stand alongside you and fight for you. And you have a friend or a peer in your life who can reflect back to you that you're great, that you're better than your own estimations or judgments. And you have the ability to do that for yourself. And sometimes it just takes noticing, I'm judging myself in a way that is unfair. I'm judging myself in a way that I don't deserve, because there's no standard I need to achieve to be enough. I'm already enough. Even if I've built a habit of picking on myself and, you know, focusing on how I failed, I can always defend myself, either by learning to do it for myself or by finding a friend, a trusted person in your life, a professional if need be, and giving them the chance to defend you. Because at the end of the day, you know where this is going. This is my big finish. You're not guilty.